So my history with bowel cancer starts when I was 22 years old. I was diagnosed with bowel cancer, and that was because I had a family history of Lynch Syndrome, which is a genetic condition that makes people more likely to get different types of cancer. And that's also why when I was 30 I was also diagnosed with uterine cancer and duodenal cancer. When it started I had some bleeding from my bottom. It just wouldn't stop. So in the morning I got my parents to call the GP, and they sent me to A&E, where it was found that there was a little polyp. So I had a colonoscopy which discovered I think 18 more polyps. The doctors were obviously very surprised because I was so young, and they discovered that one of the polyps was cancerous, and they made the decision that I should have my bowel removed and I should have a temporary stoma. I think there's an element of not really wanting to face it at the time. I had never heard of a stoma before. I didn't know what a stoma was. When I had my stoma, which I only had for 5 months before I had my reversal, so now I have my internal pouch. Happy to talk about it verbally, but equally very much into putting myself out there on social media, online with my writing as well. It's it just feels really normal and comfortable to me now. I'm happy to tell anybody anything, and I think it's always been that way. But when you're the patient, it is kind of up to you to start that conversation, which is very, very difficult. Not everybody is going to be perhaps receptive, or they may have their own feelings of embarrassment, like, oh, we don't talk about that. That's not something. So I think it's picking the people that you talk to as well. I think I lost my shame and my dignity very quickly. I met my consultant for the first time. He said, do you mind if I put my finger up your bottom, basically? And I was like, I guess, yeah. So he did that with an audience of like 4 or 5 other medical professionals as well. So I lost my shame that day, and what good has shame ever done me anyway? So I don't miss it. For me, my bowel cancer symptoms were really obvious and unavoidable. I had this bleeding, and it was really an emergency situation. So I was kind of forced to tell my parents about it then, and to talk about it. But I think that it's really important to normalise talking about these things, not just for ourselves, but for everybody, to set an example to the people around us by being open about our experiences, by listening to each other as well, and believe in each other. And it's very difficult, and it's not easily solvable. A lot of people won't necessarily feel as comfortable being open like I am, but by the same point you don't want to wait until you have the experience that I had in order to be comfortable about it. We want it to happen before then. There is some embarrassment for me still. So I go to a public toilet in a pub or a cinema or something, and I do find it embarrassing that my pouch does make quite a loud noise. If there are people in there as well, sometimes I will wait until somebody puts on the hand dryer or flushes the toilet so that I can go. So it's kind of like waiting there. Oh, somebody's put the hand dryer on. Go. And yeah, that's still a work in progress. The bottom line is everybody poops. So that is our human nature to kind of be embarrassed. But the more that we talk about it, then the more we can reduce that, and hopefully work towards a world where these things aren't stigmatised anymore.